Kamala Harris came up a lot in 2020 towards the end of the year. I dreamt of this woman saying that she's the president of the United States. And I was thinking, lady, you're not a president. You're not on the ticket. Nobody's paying attention to you. You're stapled to Joe Biden. So what do you mean? And when I woke up, the Lord would say things like, this is Kamala's election. When Biden enters that White House, he's taking two people with him, Kamala Harris and Barack Obama. And now 3 years have passed and God has widened the scope and revealed the things he was talking about. And so here's the dream. I dreamt that Kamala Harris was making a speech on TV. It was a very important speech. The nation had been already told that this big speech was coming up. And so it's a nationwide address and it was being simulcast all over the world. So other nations was paying attention. However, here's the strange thing. This woman was not speaking English. She was speaking a language that came upon my heart as Tamil. Now in the dream, I didn't know what Tamil is, but it was very clear to me that she was speaking Tamil. The whole speech was in Tamil, not English. And the first question upon my heart observing her in the dream is, why are you talking to us in a language that we don't understand? Why are you addressing us in something that we don't speak at all? What is this Tamil? And since it's not the majority language of America or the majority language of most of the other nations, why is such an important speech being broadcast in Tamil? But I was hearing the speech in English. And even though she was saying many things, here is the part that I remember. Kamala Harris said this: why have you followed and emulated the United States? Why have you followed and copied America in your ways? America is under judgment. America is about to be judged. All who are like her in her ways, her sins, her evil, you will be judged along with her. To the very extent that you have copied her, God will judge you. If you have any laws like America, unjust laws, immoral laws, unrighteous laws, God will punish you the same way he punishes America. To the extent that you copied her, if you have tolerance for sin and other forms of immorality in your society or in your legal system especially, you will be judged by God. I am Kamala Harris. I am the U.S. president. I am telling you the facts of the matter. This nation is under judgment. And to the extent any nation has accepted her evil and copied her actions, they will be judged also. So if I remember nothing else, that's what I remember. A speech in a foreign language and saying that America is judged and that anybody who copies America will be judged by God. And she was speaking as much to America to tell us that we are under God's judgment as much as she was addressing foreign nations. So foreign nations, you have homosexuality on the books. You are calling it not a sin. It's a preference now. It's decriminalized. South Africa, looking at you, and other nations in the EU. It's not a sin. You have marriage, same-sex marriage on the books. In some cases, it's full marriage. In other cases, it's civil union. Some countries, you are breaking down long-standing taboo about men being transgender. You now have men in dresses. Nigeria, looking squarely at you. Men who are becoming social media booming stars, likes, clicks, followers. You were not raised this way, but now you have started following men in drag, popularizing them, praising them, whoever this Bob Risky is. You think that God will applaud you? This woman who serves Satan in the dream was saying that this nation that I am sitting in, the United States of America, is already rejected by God. It is a nation that is going to reap the full whirlwind of Revelation 18. And in Revelation 18, it says all the merchants that traded with Babylon and all the kings of the earth stood afar off, and they wailed, watching as her judgments came upon her in 1 hour. Well, God is letting everyone know that in as much as you put abortion on the books, African countries and South American countries that have allowed these US and other foreign NGOs to come in and start advocating for abortion in your nations. You copied those laws. You have started to relax your legal protocols and call abortion healthcare. You have started to allow many pride parades in many territories of the earth. You will be judged to the full extent of America's sin that you have accepted, that you have opened the gates, that you have received. And so this is what this servant of the beast was saying in her strange language, but God translated it for me in English. The dream changed, and I saw this woman was writing on top of the US Constitution. And may the citizens of this nation please listen, because this part, you are going to hate it. This part, you are going to see it, even if you hate it. I saw her sitting at that same desk that I've seen Joe Biden sit at, that same desk that President Donald Trump sat at. It's some desk that they sit at on the first day, and they bring them a lot of new laws, and they bring in them a lot of bills that have been voted on and everything, and it just needs now the executive signature to pass. And those two presidents have sat there, you know, they'll sign, and then they'll give the pen to somebody as, you know, keepsake, and then they'll get a new pen and they'll keep signing. Well, nobody was bringing Kamala Harris any documents to sign. She had the Constitution of the United States. It wasn't in any kind of climate controlled box. It wasn't surrounded by sheet glass. It wasn't preserved or protected in any way. She had the raw document in front of her. And she was making corrections and changes. And in some cases, she was completely getting rid of certain provisions. And I saw cabinet members, and I saw cabinet ministers, I saw official staff surrounding her exactly the way they've surrounded other male presidents in the past. And these people all saw what this woman was doing, that she was desecrating the US Constitution. She was making solo executive changes directly on the document, and not a single person said a word. I saw that some of the older men who have been in government for so long that their hair has turned gray, they were stunned looking at what this woman were doing. Their eyes were so big that it was almost comical, like watching how the cartoons are surprised, like doing. Their eyebrows were raising up to the top of their head, and yet everybody was mute. All mouths were shut. And she didn't even see their reaction. She didn't even look up. She was busy doing what she was doing, editing the Constitution, making corrections and alterations. And in some cases, she scratched out stuff very vigorously with a big black pen. I've spoken about this black pen. You can find out more about it in one of the old prophecies about this woman that is called A Broken Rule of Law, where I saw her with a thick black felt marker, and she was scribbling and making alterations and Xing out whole passages of the Constitution. I spoke in a recent video that is called Brace for Impact, that I saw Kamala Harris holding a black marker like a wand. Now, from where I'm sitting, we write from left to right like this. Well, she was waving the marker from right to left as if writing backward. And as she was doing this on the Constitution, the words, the letters were flying off the thing. It was like she was unwriting it with her marker. What is coming to my heart to tell you right now is that you should remember the part of the book of Daniel where it says that the coming fierce king, the king of fierce features, the son of perdition, one of the things he will do is he will think to change the times and laws. America, you're in that season and you don't even recognize it. You've got laws that don't protect children. The children are becoming the new hot performers at the drag shows. You've got laws that say that even if he's 6'8", if he feels like a woman, then he is. He can identify as anything he wants, use the opposite gender bathroom, scare and endanger women, strip off, put a swimsuit on, jump into the pool, smash all the records, win all the awards, and it's okay. There was some state where I think It's hockey. And the girls said that they were not comfortable because they had one trans male. The school responded by banning all the females from the female locker room so that the man in a bra could stay in the locker room and be comfortable. Think to change the times and laws simply means to reverse all that is normally known in statehood and put stuff in there that we've never ever seen before in the history of nations. And so here is the amendment that this lady crossed out. She crossed it out completely. I mean, she scratched it out. She blotted it out until it was just a black scratched area. Amendment 2 is what it kept being called in this dream. Amendment 2. Now I know it's the Second Amendment, but it was referred to as Amendment 2. And here's one of the announcements that was being played all the time in that time when this Second Amendment will be gotten away with. It will be removed completely. It will not be there. Please hear me. I'm not speaking of something that will happen today or next week. That's what prophecy is. It is speaking forth the times to come as revealed by the Spirit of the Lord. Here is one of the announcements that was playing on that future AI voice. Amendment 2 is hereby revoked by United States federal laws and ordinances. Amendment 2 shall henceforth and from this moment no longer apply in any of the United States territories and states here party to the U.S. Constitution. Amendment 2 is now outlawed. It is now illegal to possess any items previously guaranteed, protected, or referred to in U.S. Constitution, Amendment 2. Now, please excuse the noise. Now, these kinds of announcements will be very common in the way the beast system will be done. It will be very, very common. We will be hearing a lot of information given publicly on a loop through multimedia, through screens, through audio advertising, just the way they announce that the train is coming or that a plane is landing at Terminal 2, Terminal 5. It will be like that. We will be listening to a lot of programming announcements and changes through this speaking AI. And the point of that, I have videos that explain very excellently what the point of the AI is, so I won't go into that. The point of this AI is basically to wear down your inner muscle. It is to wear down your ability to think properly and to say no, because as long as constant announcements are being made, whether you consciously feel, I don't believe this, I don't agree with it, your subconscious, its job is just to record sound. So it simply records everything that you say. And then when you fall asleep, or when you go into times of repose and rest, you are at the mercy of your subconscious because it plays for you in your sleeping, vulnerable state everything that you have heard. So your conscious mind can say no, but the way that people are worn down is because if you constantly expose them to a playing loop in their conscious waking state, they begin to do this. Well, it's not so bad. Well, at least they're not taking this and that away from us. And that is how you get people to cross the party line and do things like take the harm versus harm. You simply announce it to them, because these people that do these things understand the human psyche very well, sometimes even better than the humans themselves. And so the Second Amendment, to those who are foreign and don't understand, it's a simple sentence that protects America by giving her the right to form militias. In case the government goes rogue, the Second Amendment says that people can rise up and get rid of that rogue government. They have the right to bear arms. They have the right to protect their property from unlawful search and seizure, from bear attacks, human attacks, thieves coming on the property, a corrupt government that tries to do overreach, and everything else under the sun. It's one sentence that says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But in that future that I am speaking to now, the one that we already set our feet on, an unmovable path since 2020, Amendment 2 is not going to be a part of U.S. life. They're going to revise it. They're going to re-revise it. They're going to revise it some more. They're going to amend it further. They might take out one word in 1 year and then 2 more words in the second year. They're going to erode that simple sentence piece by piece. They're going to make new laws on top of it that make certain parts of the Second Amendment inoperable or useless, prohibiting this part of it or that part of it until one day the amendment will be functionally useless. And then they will take it away altogether. Amendment 2 will become a crime for which, if you are caught breaking it, meaning that if you are part of any militia and you're caught, if you are part bearing any arms or you're caught, you can lose your life under the new treason laws that are coming to America. And God was telling me, this part was when I woke up, God was telling me that the laws for treason in this country are going to be amended and stretched so far that they will cover a large body of crimes. I've been saying that they will tell you that your eyebrows are too full and that you are breaching the hair law. And then they just jail you for an unimaginable amount of time.